is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? My name's Tony, aka Star Wars Sith, and welcome to another episode of Sith Talk, where we talk Star Wars news, rumors, and coming soons. Today, we have on the show Jose from the General Kenobi's Bunker channel. How you doing today, Jose?
Hello there. How's everybody doing?
Good. All right, so tell us a little bit about your channel, what your channel focuses on, and where we could find you at.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, like you said, main channel is called General Kenobi's Bunker over on YouTube, and we do a little bit of everything. We like to go toy hunting, of course. We like Star Wars around here, so we also like to do toy reviews. We cover some of the rumors as well, trailer reactions and things like that. We also have a live show on every Wednesday around 8 p.m. Central called The High Ground. And this year, we're actually doing to do a lot more guests. And yes, my man here, Star Wars Sith, will join us coming up in a couple of episodes. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yes, awesome. Cool. All right, so again, I'm going to put the links to all your stuff, your socials, your YouTube channel in the description, guys. So definitely go check him out for sure. So I have 3 questions for you. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm always ready.
All right. So the first one is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie? What's your number one out of all 11 films?
Sure. So it's always a complicated answer, right? But I will say this. The short version is I find myself rewatching Revenge of the Sith the most. Okay.
Nice.
And so that's like my go-to, right? Like whenever I have a couple hours, I was like, you know what? I haven't seen Revenge of the Sith in a little bit. Let's pop that in, right?
Yeah.
But I would say a close second is Rogue One. Actually, I still enjoy that film quite a bit. And again, I find myself rewatching that one over. Honestly, I would say over Empire at this point. So short answer: Revenge of the Sith, with Rogue One being like a very close second, I think.
Nice. Okay, not bad. Yeah. So I like Rogue One a lot too, man. Just that ending was just so beautiful with Vader's hallway scene.
Oh man.
And then transitioning to Leia and then right into A New Hope. Like,
exactly.
Gorgeous.
So I always said it that because Rogue One was the first one, right, that we got out of as a standalone Star Wars story film.
Yeah.
And I always said, dude, they could have messed up the whole movie. Okay, it could have been like real bad, but leave those like last 10 minutes untouched, and the movie would have been great. Like,
yeah,
those last 10 minutes are just epic.
Yeah, no, for sure. But for me, yeah, it's the same as you, Revenge of the Sith. Like, that movie's just, it just never gets old, and it's so rewatchable. It's crazy, man.
Exactly.
All right, so the next one might be a little bit more trickier. So what is your favorite Star Wars show? So out of all animated, all live action, you can only pick one.
Okay. Man, you see, I'm old, so I have to give it to the Clone Wars, but the Tartakovsky animated shorts. So these are the ones from all the way back 2003 to 2005, I think.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah, so those are getting up there in age, not gonna lie. I mean, they're turning 20 years old this year. But the thing is, back then, so I was fully into Star Wars. By the time Episode 2 came in, I was all in on everything. Right, the comic books, the toys, obviously, the films. So I was just devouring as much content as I could back then. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to get this TV broadcasted on Cartoon Network, animated shorts that are supposed to be leading up all of us into the next film, right, which was Revenge of the Sith. And dude, like back then, that was like mind-blowing. Okay, like to be able to see the characters in any other format aside from live action, dude. We waited a week to get 3 minutes worth of show, right? Literally, those were real short. And so those always hold a dear place in my heart. And you can argue, the Jedis were too OP or things like that. But Grievous, same thing, right? And some say, well, that sort of spoiled going into Revenge of the Sith because you didn't see anything like that, right, reflected on the big screen. but I still love them, and I still think they're very well made, especially for the time. And again, I just remember the excitement of having Star Wars outside of the big screen. This was like the first thing that I got to experience. Right? Yes, there's been shows before that, but this was the first thing that I got to be fully immersed in and be there. Every time the episode would come out, and then that last episode just like rolls right into Revenge of the Sith, which was insane, right? Unfortunately, now they're sort of not canon anymore. But like I
Mhm.
said, I still love those.
So I think we might have been talking about this on one of my videos, but I still have not watched those yet.
Oh
Like
yeah,
completely. I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow because you're like the second or third person that's like, you
yeah,
gotta watch it. Like it's like good. And I didn't realize that it was right in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, like leading
yeah,
into the movie. I didn't really like that, didn't click in my head.
yeah.
So
Literally that last episode, that's when they get the call that the chancellor has been kidnapped, and
oh
they
wow.
just roll into the battle, like the battle that the opening scenes for episode
What?
3. They literally just hyperdrive into that. And so
Wow.
there's a couple other things, right, that happen in the show. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but
No, I haven't.
it does line up with some stuff that you saw in Revenge of the Sith. Like why Grievous is coughing all the time.
Yeah.
A couple other things with you've seen that deleted scene, right? From Revenge of the Sith, where Grievous basically stabs Shakti from in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so the battle, like Grievous against Shakti, happens in those shorts. So that sort of explains
Oh.
why he had her like captured, on the ship.
Yeah.
Which I would have loved for that scene to be canon, like for it to have actually been stayed in the last I guess in the final version, because like
Mhm.
I said, that was just like another big like connecting point to those shorts. So when I saw that deleted scene, I was like, how come, I was like, ah, man, like this could have been so cool, like if it would have stayed in.
Yeah. Damn, yeah. I'm gonna check that out. I'm off
Yeah,
again tomorrow. I think I'm just gonna watch them all tomorrow and knock it out because like too many people keep saying to check it out.
yeah, dude, I
So
honestly, I don't think they're even an hour like all put together, like, so you're gonna like blow
blow
right through
through
them.
it.
Like it's, yeah,
Yeah.
like it's crazy.
I'm gonna check it out. But for me, my favorite show is the newer Clone Wars because I've watched all 7 seasons of it,
Yep.
and it's mainly because of that last season. It just puts it over the edge with that
Oh,
last 4 episode arc. It's the Revenge of the Sith 2.0. It's just
yeah,
beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful.
The way they
So
lined it up to the movie, the sound cues,
yeah,
the
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 audios.
the subtle like music change, like, oh man, yeah, no,
Yep,
I agree. I mean, Clone Wars was really good up to season 5, right, which is what we got as I guess on a
yep,
broadcast. Then season 6, right, sort of rolled out, and I really enjoyed it because it covered a lot of like the mystic side, right, like with Yoda's like travels and all of that. So I really
yeah.
enjoyed it, and it also covered how do you call it, man, I'm blanking out on his name now, Cypher Diaz,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah. Uh huh.
which again we never really saw, right, like before that.
Mm.
Even though we heard the name, like again,
Yeah.
20 years ago or whatever it is, but we never really got the story. So I always enjoyed that part of like the story building. But when
Hmm.
season 7 came back, they're like, hey man, this is the last one, they brought us back, so we're going all out, right? And they delivered. I mean, that season 7 is just epic.
Epic. Oh, I still remember at Celebration 2019 in Chicago seeing the
Yeah,
trailer for
yeah,
it, and I was like, "Yo!" Like Darth Maul with the doing the dual lightsaber
exactly.
igniting. Whole that man, that trailer hit too hard at that
Agreed.
panel, man. Oh,
And then they're like, oh, by the way, if that wasn't enough, guess who's actually making the movements? Like we did motion capture to the
with Ray
OG Ray
with Ray
Park. I was like,
Park,
what?
yeah,
Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
there's only so much awesome you can cram in like 10 seconds. Like, don't do this to me.
I
Uh,
know. And
it,
seeing that episode and seeing his movements, like that
his
was
movements,
100% Ray
man.
Park.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
100% Ray Park.
Yes,
Oh,
I remember I got chills, dude. I rewinded like 5 times that little like one-legged like cross jump that he does with the sabers like spinning. I was like, dude,
yeah.
that's him. Like I can see
Yep.
him, doing it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, you seen the behind the scenes of him doing it with the motion capture suit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so fire, man.
dude,
So fire.
that choreography just on its own, like that, just them with the little like sensors attached, even that looks dope. Like they went all out, man, on that choreography. Like it was crazy. Like the lady whose name escapes me right now, the stunt for Ahsoka,
Yeah.
she was doing like awesome stuff too.
Yeah, no, she was for sure. So the last question is, who is your favorite character? Number one. And this one could be tricky.
Yeah, well, I think it's a bit obvious, with the naming here, but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, so I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's probably my favorite Jedi. Uh, just overall, uh, and definitely the character. It's always intrigued me because he went through so much, right? Uh, you know,
So much.
like I always said it that if it wasn't for Anakin, I think Obi-Wan would have been like the poster child, the poster boy for the Jedi Order like back then. uh
Yeah.
I think he would have been, like the quintessential Jedi type of thing. um but to have lost so much, right, and it's such a short like span of time, lost his master, then lost his quote unquote lover, like
Yep.
with the
Satine.
Duchess, right, and
Yep.
lost the opportunity to have that kind of life, right, if he so choose to, and then lost his best friend, his apprentice, his confidant, his order, right, like the Jedi Order. He lost like basically
Everything,
everything.
bro.
Yeah,
Everything.
all in like 3 years, right? Like it got crazy, and so, but he still held on. He still held on to the good. Now we've seen the show, right, and it's not like he was all like unfazed and, oh yeah, I'm just stoic, right? Like he did suffer quite a bit, but he still managed to stay in the light, which is something that I always admire about the character.
Yeah. So which version of Kenobi is your favorite though? Because there's Alec Guinness, there's Ewan McGregor, there's animated. Which
Yeah.
Kenobi is like your number one Kenobi?
So you'll see it once you watch the little shorts. That's where this guy comes from. They call him Clone Commander Kenobi, right?
Uh-huh.
He's basically wearing the Phase One armor.
Yeah.
You'll see those episodes on the shorts. That's like my most yeah, like my most fun memory of watching Kenobi like fight.
Kenobi.
He goes all
Nice.
out, right? But I gotta say that in terms of the story, I really enjoyed some of the portrayals they did on the actual show with Ewan McGregor.
Oh
That sort
yeah.
of like Jedi PTSD type of thing that he had. I
Yep.
was like, dude, what does that even look like? Like imagine being able to sense like the universe basically, and
Yeah.
have like PTSD, and like you have to cut yourself from everything you ever known, right? Like, you got this like greater connection to the Force, right? And you're like, you know what, this is actually like hurting me. Like what I've known all my life, basically since I was a baby, is
Yeah.
actually like I can't deal with that anymore. So I have to cut myself off. So, some of the subtle, also, of course, Ewan McGregor, great actor. Some of
Yeah.
the subtle, his expressions of like pain and like remorse and stuff like that. And I don't know, man, like I really enjoyed some of, like I said, some of those portrayals of what was sort of going on with him, in his head. So,
Nice.
um,
That's awesome. I gotta check that out, man. For sure. The animated.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
dude, I think you like him.
So the first article we're gonna go over is this one about
Yeah.
celebration. But before we talk about it, I know you were at Anaheim. Now,
Yes.
was that your first celebration, or how many have you been to?
I've actually only been to two, and 2019 Chicago was my first one. So
Oh,
I've been to
nice.
2019 in Chicago, and last year 2022 in Anaheim.
And out of those two, which one did you enjoy more? Did you go? Well, did you go all 5 days in Chicago and all 4 days in Anaheim?
I did. I did actually. So Chicago, I was fortunate enough back then. One of my best friends lives there, so I saved, by crashing with him, and I
Oh, that's
didn't I didn't
awesome.
pay for a hotel, so that's how I
Yeah,
was able to basically afford, being there all 5 days.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I spent a little bit more than I should have, out on the
Oh,
stores,
of
but
course.
it
It's a
happens.
celebration. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Of course.
Uh, And so I thoroughly enjoyed 2019. It was my first time. Um, I met a lot of people, that I'm still in contact with to this day. It was just a shock to the senses, man. Like it's
Yeah.
everything was going on at once. Like I missed out on so much stuff that I would later see, on YouTube or channels. Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this was my like Chicago experience and stuff. I'm like, when did that happen? Like, when was that
Yep.
panel? Or when was that like cosplay show happening? Or when was all of that stuff, dude? Because there's just so much going on, like at any given point.
So much.
And and everything is awesome, right? So you want to do it all and you want to see it all, but obviously you can't.
Yep.
So and me, I was an amateur, dude. Like I did a little bit of research before going, but again, I don't think anything really prepares you to being there, like on the floor with a few thousand of your peers, that, and everybody's just
Yeah.
loving Star Wars, right? Like it's quite the experience. So like I said, I remember very fondly 2019. However, 2022 has one of my favorite moments, in my fandom life.
I know what
Because
it is too. I already know what you're
yeah,
gonna say. Go ahead.
exactly. But so to the surprise of nobody, uh, I made it into the premiere of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, the red carpet event. Let's just say I
Yes.
wasn't necessarily supposed to be there, but I was okay. So, and it was crazy. It was like an awesome experience.
I get goosebumps just thinking about that. Like,
Yeah.
because I remember I heard you telling somebody the story of how you got in, how you kept talking to people to get in, you couldn't
Yeah,
in, and then you saw the YouTubers come up and they got in, and then you just kept on and you got in.
I did.
So and it's because you were supposed to go to that panel earlier, but you didn't go, right? So you never got the gold wristband.
Well, truth be told, I never got the lottery. I didn't win the lottery for that first
Oh,
panel. and
okay.
so
You just finessed your
and
way in,
so
which is
yeah,
amazing.
exactly. So again, one of my buddies that I've met through the community, he was already in. He got into the initial panel, the one in the morning. So
Yeah,
he already had his how do you call it, his wristband, right?
yeah, the gold
Uh
wristband.
yeah, and then I was like, hey man, like I totally missed out on like I said on the initial panel, and then therefore like I didn't get a wristband to go into the premiere at night. And so I'm texting him. He's like, no, man. He's like, just let him, like, just tell him, let him know that all of us are in here, and stuff. I'm like, man, they're turning everybody down, right?
Yeah,
So like I said, I've told this story before, but I'm pretty sure I was right next to Carly King,
yeah, yep.
from YouTube, and she didn't have a wristband either because she was trying, she was almost crying, dude, to go in, and all of a sudden, like, she literally goes away and like comes back not even like a minute later, and she has a wristband on her. And so the
Magic.
guy just goes, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, what just happened? I was like, like what, like, wait, like, take me with you, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, no, like, I have to go in, like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But anyway, so long story short, my buddy sent me his QR code from the morning, right?
Yep.
From the morning panel, and he's like, just say that you didn't make it, but you were supposed to be there and stuff. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. And sure enough, so many people were trying to get in that I think the Lucasfilm guy, at the how do you call it, at the,
The
like, at
entrance.
the barrier, yeah, like,
Yeah.
was just like, you know what, like you. And I was like, here, like, I had the QR and stuff. He's like, all right, whatever, like, come in. And I was like, yes.
Hell
And I
yeah.
just I just like sprinted through the red carpet, because they were already shutting the doors, to start the actual
Yeah.
show. um so yeah, man, and I mean, it was just electric, right, to be there.
Oh,
It was crazy. I mean, Ewan McGregor comes on. I mean, come on, like that.
bro, we got in early, so we were sitting in the front row. So we were
Oh,
the very front, and he comes out with Deborah Chow, and I'm like, yo,
yes,
he's right
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
We watched both episodes, and then everybody else comes out at the end. But
Yes.
I think that was awesome. I think my favorite part though was at the end of the second episode when Kenobi senses Vader and he says Anakin, and then it cuts to him in the back of the tank, and the whole stadium went nuts, bro. Like
Yes.
that that energy like is unmatched. And that's
Exactly.
like celebration in a nutshell. That vibe, that energy from that one
Absolutely.
moment is how you feel every day
That's
there,
it. Yeah. That's what I was
which
gonna
is
say.
crazy.
so I, for anybody listening, if you're just like on the fence about ever going to a celebration,
Oh,
do it.
go.
Okay, I'm telling you, just go. All right, without breaking the bank or putting yourself into financial distress. But go, guys. Seriously, like what we were talking about here, this experiences, uh, you made it made sound to you that we're exaggerating. We're really not. Okay,
No,
it's just
no.
the experience of being in the room with like I said, with a few hundred or thousand even people
Thousands.
that love this stuff just as much as you do. Some of them even more. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
when I
yeah,
had
yeah.
a little bit of like, whoa, like this dude knows his stuff. Like I met a couple of people that were like, oh, like I thought I was a Star Wars geek, and you just left me in the dust.
Yep.
Uh, and so it's an incredible experience. And like I said, so I have very fond memories of the overall event in 2019, right? Because it was my first one. And
Hmm.
but that one night on the Obi-Wan Kenobi premiere, like that's like I said, that's
Oh
probably one of my fondest memories,
yeah.
of being a Star Wars fan just in general, honestly.
No, yeah, for sure. And like this is celebration is the reason I started my channel. Like the reason I'm here on
Yeah,
YouTube and made my channel was to cover and show people what celebration is, how it works. Because a lot of people are hardcore Star Wars fans, but they've never been or even heard of celebration.
exactly.
So yeah, so that's why I try to bring like as much knowledge as possible. And like you
Yeah,
said about not breaking the bank, like I've been to 3 celebrations. My first two, I didn't do any autographs, any photo ops, time of
yeah,
my life. So it's not
yes.
like you have to buy these expensive things to have fun.
You really
You
don't.
could just go there, get all the free stuff, see everything, and
Yep.
like all that stuff's free. You don't have to like splurge. So
Yeah.
um
So I mean, I like you said, I did a little bit of research because, like you just mentioned, I've been a Star Wars guy for most of my life, right? But I've never been to a celebration. I've heard about them and things like that, but I never really researched it, right? So when
yeah.
2019 was coming along, and I was like, you know what, I'm going. Like, it's gonna happen, right? Like that's it. Gonna be my first celebration. I started looking into YouTube, right, and people doing videos much like your own of just saying, hey
Yep.
guys, there's gonna be lines, there's gonna be this, you are gonna miss stuff, like you cannot see everything, right?
Yep.
Because there's panels that overlap, right? They happen at the same time. So everybody's saying, hey, try to plan it out what you're really interested in, and have backups because you might not
Yep.
make it in, and things like that.
100%.
Now, mind you, 2019 I think was the first time that they put that lottery system, right, for the bigger panels.
Yeah, because
um
Orlando 2017, they were camping out overnight for
exactly,
wristbands for the panel. So the
right,
lotto started there.
yeah. And so 2019 they did it online, right, based on your badge number.
Yep.
And so that changed up things, right? Because like I said, all of the people that I was seeing their videos about celebration, they're like, yeah, like be prepared to not sleep a couple nights because you're gonna be
Yeah.
like standing in the line like for whatever big panel you want to see. And then and it didn't happen like that, obviously. But yeah, so me personally, I appreciate your channel quite a bit, man, because
Thank you.
like I
Thank
said,
you.
there's actually not a whole lot of people that cover these big events. And it can be daunting, if this is your first
Yeah.
time. Like, man, you can, like I said, you can miss a lot of stuff. You can end up spending a lot of money that maybe you shouldn't, or you didn't necessarily have to, right?
Yep.
If you plan it out right. So like I said, I really appreciate your channel, your content, because I know that it's helping a lot of people that again might be on the fence about going to celebration, and once they see you sort of break down like how it actually goes and what you actually need to go there,
Yep.
that'd be like, that's great help.
No, for sure. And I've had every day, I'm getting comments, messages, emails from random people just asking questions about it. So, like, I'll have like one day on Twitter, some guy messaged me, some little kid from Spain was going, and I'm
Yeah,
talking to this one guy that's in Scotland all the time that's going, and
nice.
another guy from Ireland, and people in London I'm talking to. And
Yeah,
then I'm talking to this guy out in Vegas that's going. So I'm just meeting all these
yeah.
people that I'm gonna run into there, which is gonna be
Exactly.
great,
Yeah.
but they all have these questions in it, and I love answering it because like I've been through it, so like it's fun to me, and just to kind of give them that
Oh
heads
yeah.
up to make them feel better. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
I can't wait to get out there and just start dropping those videos, man. It's gonna be wild.
Dude, I've told you before, and I'm not jealous at all that you're going. But dude, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be living through you, so I'm gonna be
Yeah.
tuning in every day. So
Oh
can't
yeah.
wait.
So this article dropped, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
5 reasons to go to Star Wars Celebration for the first time, which we already covered more than five just now.
Yeah, I was gonna say we sort of might have gone to 20, but yeah.
Yeah. But the biggest thing from this article where everyone on the internet was like, oh my God, is it
Yep.
confirms the next celebration isn't until 2025, which for me, I'm kind of relieved because I need to breathe financially because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
going from Anaheim to London, and then if there was one next year,
Yeah.
oh man. So it's kind of cool that there's that year break. And then everyone, all my friends that want to go that have never been, I let them know, hey, it's going to be 2025. Start saving now. That way, when the time comes,
Exactly.
you could splurge like a king because it's
Yes,
gonna
exactly.
be a lot of big things at that one because it'll be the
Oh
20th of
man.
Revenge of the Sith. It's the
Yep.
10 year for the Force Awakens too, which I forgot.
Which I was gonna say, I was talking to about this exactly last night, and when I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I think it's the 10th anniversary of Force Awakens," and it just hit me, bro. I was like, "Whoa! Like 10 years? Like,
Yep.
are you kidding me? Like that's insane to me. Like it's still just a couple years away, like in my mind, but I'm like 10 freaking years
Yeah.
already. Like, wow.
Yep. So the five things it talks about here is you could be in a room for all new reveals and see them before anyone else. So like trailers, like show announcements, movie announcements, which is true.
Oh yeah,
And then you can celebrate anything and everything Star Wars, which we talked about, like for sure.
yeah.
It's all Star Wars fans, which is,
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's another plus. Like I went to New York Comic Con this past year for the first time, and it was
Oh nice.
fun. But
Yeah.
it's like a big mix of everything. It's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
nice
Of
when it's
course.
all Star Wars fans because then
Yeah.
it's like you connect with everybody. But like
Exactly.
in New York Comic Con, I mean, some of the stuff I'm like, I have no idea who you're dressed up as. Like I can't like
Sure.
vibe with,
Yeah.
I can't connect with them. But
Yeah.
in celebration, it's like, oh, I know who you are. Like you're definitely somebody I know. The guest list, which the guest lists lately have been fire. Anaheim was
Oof.
fire. London got insane, man.
Yeah.
So
London. They're. Oh man. Yeah. If I was
yeah,
going, I would have dropped so much money, dude. Like already.
yeah. London has already kind of broken me. So
Yeah.
I got this morning. I got the dual photo op for
I
Hayden
saw
and
that.
Ewan, which I think this is the
Flex.
first time they've ever done it together. I can't
Yeah.
find any other pictures where they've done it at a convention before, like
No.
nowhere. And then this Monday is the last guest announcement. I kind of hope it's Mark Hamill, but I'm terrified at
Oh,
the
dude.
same time because it's gonna
Yes, I
be
was gonna
so
say.
expensive.
Yeah.
But like, bro, it's Mark
But
Hamill,
it's Mark
man.
Hamill,
Like,
dude.
I'll
I
have to figure
so
it out.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, there's loans, there's credit cards, there's extra
Oh yeah,
coupons.
I'll
Don't worry
figure it
about it.
out. Yeah.
uh, but that was my not, I wouldn't say mistake. It was just my the thing that made me hold out on buying a lot of the autographs or photo ops last year
Mhm.
for Anaheim was that I kept holding out for Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not gonna buy this guy because I want Mark Hamill and he's gonna be expensive, like you said. But
Yeah.
I was like, I have to. Like, there's just no question about it. I have to do it. Whatever it costs, I'll figure it out. But and so I kept waiting, and some of them sold out, and some of
Oh
them
yeah.
were like, uh, yeah, basically selling out, whether it be autograph or photo ops. And then Mark Hamill tweets, right? It's like, hey guys, sorry, not gonna make it. I'm actually
Yeah.
working. And I was like, dang it. So I missed out, and I think I've told you this story, but I missed out on the Ewan McGregor photo op. It sold out.
In 20
So
less than 24 hours. I
yeah,
remember.
so I didn't buy it. I bought the autograph, which is the episode 1 on the card back there, the Black Series.
Nice.
That's what I
Nice.
got. That's what I got signed. But I was like, obviously I want a picture with him. But I was like, you know what? Let me wait because that's another $300. And what if Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
comes out and stuff? And then Ewan McGregor sold out, like you said, within a day. And then I was like, dang it, man. I was like, okay, well, I really hope that Mark Hamill comes out because if not, and sure enough, he didn't. Again, I was lucky enough that through somebody that I met in the community, he had a photo op and he was on by himself. So he was like, jump in, man. Like, come on in with me. And
Ooh.
we'll both take a picture. I was like, dude, I could kiss you right now, but I don't go that way, but I could. And so and that's how I got to meet, Ewan McGregor for a photo op again, just thank
Nice.
through the community. But otherwise, I would have missed out because I was holding on. I was holding out to try to get Mark Hamill. So I really hope for you that it happens, because that to me is like the grail right there.
Oh
And
yeah.
so and so I'm hopeful, right, that he's still gonna be around and still gonna be willing to do it in a couple years, right, for the next celebration, because I don't know that he does many conventions at all. So I don't know that we will have another opportunity that's not celebration, to catch him.
Yeah, I know Anaheim was his first. So that was his first convention, his first celebration ever for Hewen,
Yeah.
which is wild. But I have a feeling 2024, maybe he'll take that year off and just relax and just do whatever famous people do. But for 2025, like he has to come for
I would
that.
think
The
so.
Revenge of the Sith panel, like
Yeah.
him and Hayden on stage talking about memories of recording that. So there'll probably be a good chance to do that again there. But I have they're dual photo op on Sunday there, and Saturday I have a single photo with Hewen because I made a
Nice.
T-shirt, and the T-shirt that I have made has the photo op that we took in Anaheim on it. So
Oh, perfect.
I want to see his
Yes.
facial reaction when I walk
Of
up and I'm
course.
wearing the shirt from his
Yes.
first celebration.
I
Be
love
like, you
that. Yeah.
remember this? Yeah. So
Exactly. Yeah.
that moment should be priceless
Oh
to
yeah,
see his
dude.
reaction.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. And I mean, I don't have to tell you, you've met him, but the dude is so nice too, man. Like
oh
it's kind of crazy.
yes, yes. And then the last thing was it's for everyone, which I
Right.
like that part too, because regardless
Yeah.
if you love OG trilogy, if you love sequel trilogy, if you love prequels, if you love animated, expanded universe, like everyone just vibes together. And it's
Oh
like a
yeah.
good time no matter like what you like and appreciate, and everybody's respectful. So that's
Yeah,
my favorite part,
absolutely.
man.
And like you said, everybody's got a, even their own little like dedicated area, man. Like if you're into the cosplay, there's some like cosplay workshops, right? If you're
Oh
into the
yeah,
board games, there's a board game area where you can just sit down with other people and just play like all day if you
all
want.
day. Yep.
There's video games, there's Legos, there's everything, guys. Like pretty much anything that you can think of that Star Wars is represented in, it'll be there, like in force. So you got the droid builders, of course, you got the 501st, all of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Um, so what we were talking about earlier, you really don't have to spend a whole lot of money, to enjoy celebration.
Yeah.
All of the panels, first of all of the panels are free, right? The big
Yep.
Lucasfilm panels, the paying is to get in, right? To get into the lottery or to
Yep.
win the lottery, right? But there's a lot of other panels presented by, whether it be other collectors or whether it be guys that were adjacent to the movies, some of the prop makers, all of that stuff. There's plenty of panels that you can just go right into. You don't have to have a special ticket or anything, and they're all of them are always a blast. Like all of them are always a wealth of information. You get to meet new people, all of that stuff, and that doesn't
Yep.
cost you either. So like Tony was saying, you can go grab the freebies, grab the free
Oh, it's a
stuff that's
lot.
around. Yeah,
It's a
which is a
lot of
lot.
free stuff.
Like you will fill up your suitcase just with that. Like,
Yeah.
and just go into the event, right? You don't really have to buy anything. Well, maybe some food and water eventually, but
Yeah.
aside from that, like you really don't have to spend a whole lot of money.
Yeah. So, and like you said with the panels, most of them you could just walk into. The only panel
Yeah.
that's difficult is that one major each day, but the rest you just stroll in. So one
Yeah.
panel I missed and I regret it afterwards. They had a Tales of the Jedi panel that Dave Filoni hosted at Anaheim. Did you go to that one or no?
Yeah.
Bro,
That was actually the only one that I got into like officially.
and you guys got to watch the first episode, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
See,
Yeah.
I heard about that after, and I was so pissed
Yeah.
because like I was planning to go because I'm like, yo, it's Filoni, like that's the boy,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna record and walk the showroom floor because I didn't really know a whole lot about Tales of the Jedi, so I
Same here.
skipped it. I didn't
Yeah.
realize you got to watch the first episode
Yeah.
like 6-7 months early.
Yeah, man. We saw. I mean, everybody has seen it by this point. So we
Yeah.
got shown the first episode, which is the baby Ahsoka episode. With
Yep.
the tiger. Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw that whole thing. But it was also pretty cool because very much like yourself, I the Tales of the Jedi that I know are like, you know, in the expanded universe, what is it, 4,000 years before the movies,
Yeah.
you know, Nomi Sunrider, Exar Kun, all of those guys, right? Like that's the
Hmm.
Tales of the Jedi. When you would tell me Tales of the Jedi, that's where my mind went to. So I was like, okay, this is not that, like for sure. Otherwise, we would have heard about it like before, right?
Yeah.
And so going into the panel, I was like, you know what? And I was kind of like the same way you were. I was like, it's probably like a book or something, or like, you know, like I didn't really know what to expect. But I was like, hey, it's Filoni. He's gonna be there, so
Yep.
I'll go in. And man, like I was blown away. Like when he started saying it's like, oh yeah, you know, this is like Clone Wars stuff, like Clone Wars
Mm.
style. But then covering some stuff, I was like, that's it. I'm sold. Like I don't even care what it is. Like I'm already in. And then he
Yeah.
shows us the concept art for the young Dooku, and
Woo.
man, like I lost it. Like I was like, okay, that's it. This thing's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
Ah, so lucky. All right. So the next article I have, it's kind of celebration related. So movie announcement. So they're saying that at London they're gonna announce the slate potentially of at least one movie, but it might
Yeah,
be the next three movies.
right.
So what do you think about that, man?
First of all, honestly, I think it makes sense. Why wouldn't you announce it at Celebration, right? That's the next big thing. And
Yeah.
and here's the thing. Like I was thinking about this too last night. If they're pushing Celebration to 2025, we've been hearing rumors that we might actually get a movie that year.
Yeah. Yep.
So it kind of all lines up, to be honest with you. You know, it kind of lines up that they would skip a year to have a major celebration on 2025, hit you know the anniversaries like we said, Revenge of the Sith, uh, The Force Awakens, and a new movie coming out. Like that makes you know perfect sense. Now, if it's gonna be a trilogy or not, that I'm still not convinced. Right? Um,
So I don't think it's a trilogy. I just think it's maybe the next three projects that might just all be three separate things. So I don't think
yeah,
it's going to be like a solid trilogy like we're used to.
yeah,
But I think, like you just said, like that's exactly where my mind went. That 2025 December movie, if they have Celebration in May, they could show the trailer there for the first time, just like
exactly.
they've done, like they did at Chicago for Rise of
Yep.
Skywalker. They did that in Orlando for Return of the Jedi. Or
Exactly.
yeah, the
Rise
Last
of
Jedi, the
Last
Last
Jedi.
Jedi,
Yeah,
yeah. So I kind of
exactly.
missed that because seeing the trailer for the first time. Where were you in Chicago when the Rise of Skywalker trailer dropped? Were you in the big exhibit hall or were you in the panel?
No, I didn't make it into the panel. I was in the big exhibit hall. Remember that main stage in the center?
Bro, I was right
Uh,
there too. I was probably like standing
that's
right next
crazy.
to
I was
you.
gonna say we're probably
Yeah,
like yelling in each other's ear, man, like going crazy.
that
Yeah.
stage was
Yes.
packed, but
Yes.
seeing the trailer and then getting the title and everybody going nuts and then
Oh
hearing
yeah.
Palpatine's laugh and
Yeah.
everyone was confused and like, "Yo,
Exactly. Like
that
what is going
feeling,
on?
bro,
Yeah.
that feeling
And
is
then
priceless."
to top it all off, I had Ian McDermott's autograph the next day. So
Oh,
so I was like, what was that? And he was just laughing, dude. Like he, you know, like I
yeah.
was like, where did that come from? And he's like, well, he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, dude, like I wasn't expecting it at all. And he's like, you know what? That's funny because me neither. He's like, but then I got the call, and you know, it's happening. And I was like,
Damn.
oh my lord, like that's just crazy, you know, like so yeah, I was, you
That's
know,
so
it sort of lined
awesome.
up cool, like in a good way for me that way, because I got to, you know, geek out on him about the trailer. And he was super cool about it. Like he was like, yeah, I know, you know, it was pretty cool. And he's like, I'm glad you
Oh
guys liked it and stuff like
man.
that. And he was having a blast, of course. I mean, he, you know, he made the comeback. But yeah, I remember being there. I was actually by the little like trailer where they had all the AV controls like inside, because I kept trying to step into their little ladder so I could see a little bit further.
Oh, okay, okay. I
But yeah,
think I was kind of by like I think there was like to the left of me a Geico booth. The stage was in front of
yes.
me, and I think behind me there was like a little like a booth of like books, a bunch of like books on
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
tables.
Yeah, I think I was
Yeah.
to the right of that. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay, like right there.
yeah,
Yeah. That's so
yeah,
crazy, bro, that I
yeah,
could have ran into you at
yeah.
Chicago or Anaheim. That's
Exactly.
wild,
Yeah, I
man.
know. So
So
that's
wild.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I'm actually really looking forward to that on 2025 because I've been meeting a lot of people in the community,
Yeah.
and pretty much everybody's lining up to be there, right? So it's gonna be like we said, right? It's gonna be like meeting old friends for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So for this, I'm just it'll be nice. I just want to see what they're going to be about. I heard the big rumor is they're all going to take place after the sequel trilogy. I just want to see like who's directing it and if Dave Filoni has been helping because there's been rumors for whatever the movie is that Dave Filoni has been a part of the meetings where they're trying to like write the story
Right.
and stuff like that. So I'll feel better if Filoni is there because I trust him.
Agreed.
So it's going to be interesting, but hopefully they learn from past inconsistencies and they come up with a strong
Exactly.
story. So I mean, I
And
guess we'll see in what is it like a month and a half now?
yeah.
Four,
Oh yeah.
5 weeks. It's
Yeah.
soon.
I'm gonna glue to your channel, man. Just waiting for you to break the news.
Yeah.
But how do you call it? So I've heard both things, right? I've heard we're talking about standalone films, because
Yeah.
seemingly Lucasfilm already took up, three slots in the next few years, right? For a
Yep.
movie release, Star Wars project, and so they're saying, okay, well, it could be just three, you know, quote unquote unrelated movies, right? So just three
Hmm.
standalone films. Or, I've heard the other rumor were saying that no, they're gonna go back to the trilogy format and then they're gonna branch off from that and do like standalones. All like me personally, I don't know that we are ready for another trilogy, to be honest. I don't know that Disney is ready to embark on that again.
Yeah.
This quote unquote so soon. Um, I'm more leaning towards individual stories, but
Yep.
I hope they, of course, they're interesting stories, and I hope that they, how can I say that, like you said, that they learn from past mistakes, right? And yes, we're all talking about Solo here because that was the second, how do you call it? Their second instance or their second attempt at a standalone Star Wars film, and it didn't go so well,
Yeah.
and they just dropped it, like right, like they just, they're like, nope, we're not doing that now for a while. So I'm hoping that they, regrouped, they learned, they analyzed what went wrong, what went right, and you know what, let's get back out there. Because honestly, I kind of miss Star Wars in movie theaters. Not gonna lie.
Bro, me
Uh,
too. Every Christmas, like it was
right,
like a ritual
right,
with my family. Like I'll go home for the
yes.
holidays, and then Christmas Day, we wake up, have breakfast, go right to the movie theaters.
Go
Star Wars movie.
exactly. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, they had successfully taken over Christmas, dude. Like how crazy is that?
yeah,
And
they
and
did.
then and then they stopped, right? I mean, we haven't had a film in what, 4 years?
4 years,
Almost
2019.
3? Yeah, exactly. I'm
Yeah,
like,
4 years. Yeah,
why? Like, come on, Disney. Like, it's, first of all, it's Star Wars, okay? There's no reason why we couldn't have, like, honestly, like, if they wanted to, we could have one Star Wars movie every year, dude. Like, there's plenty
yeah,
of stories out there. I'm not saying a Skywalker episode, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like, but just a movie, like a standalone movie, maybe a trilogy thrown in there, every 2 3 years, like you get another episode of a new trilogy.
yeah,
um there's plenty that's all I'm trying to say. There's plenty to get, material from. So I'm really hoping that, first of all, that we do get a celebration announcement for a new movie. Second, that it's not, just a one and done type of deal, that we are looking at, at least two or three more down the road. and
yeah,
um and like you said, I'm really really hoping that Filoni is involved. I know he's not gonna direct because my man, is pretty busy, but just
yeah.
that he's involved with the story group, that's all I want, that's all I need.
Yeah, I need him in there. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be nice, but I don't think it's realistic. But if they just like give John and Dave a trilogy, think about
Right.
how epic that would be and how consistent. And I have a story about John coming up in a little bit, but
Yeah.
like these guys love Star Wars, they know Star Wars, and they plan ahead. Like, oh,
Yes.
those two men, they just we would be
Agreed.
lost without them right now. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No, I agree completely.
All right, so the next one that I have is we're going to be getting this year 3 live action Star Wars
Yeah.
shows. So, first is Mando season 3 next
Right.
Wednesday. So, how hyped are you for this?
Oh, dude, I can't wait. And okay, so I'm gonna sound a little bit like a like a Star Wars hipster, but I've been into Mandalorians for like forever, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like even before, remember that episode, Clone Wars season, what was it, season 2, where we
Hmm.
saw Pre Vizsla, with the dark saber for
Yeah,
the first
previous.
time.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh man,
Death
those
Watch.
episodes,
Yeah.
I was blown away, dude. I was like, finally we get to see like Mandalorians, dude. Like, I was like,
Culture. Yeah.
finally, right? And sure enough, at the hand of Filoni and Fabro, right?
That's
Like
his
Fabro
voice.
was in
Yeah.
voice, yeah.
Yep.
So I've been a big fan, even before that. But once I saw them like on the screen on the Clone Wars, I was like, that's it, dude. Like, I'm sold on these guys. But I
Yep.
would have never imagined that we would have a live action, TV show, let alone a super successful one like the one we got,
Yeah.
you know, based on the Mandalorian culture, right? On the Mandalorian quote unquote race. Um, and so, dude, this one looks like they're just gonna double down into that. Like, they're gonna go to
Oh
Mandalore.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
the succession with the dark saber. It seems like we're gonna get the different clans to finally pop up. I mean, dude, I am over the moon. Like, I am ready.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right. So no, yeah, I'm super hyped for this. Like I cannot wait. And the fact that they said that this season's gonna have more surprises and cameos
Yeah,
than the first two seasons,
yeah,
I love it because their cameos aren't fan service. Like it makes sense to the story and it does service
right,
the fan, but
right,
like it
exactly.
makes sense. So they could do
Yeah,
whatever they want. I trust them.
same here, man.
Now the next show,
Oh,
and
yeah,
we'll in London, we should get the date and the trailer for this,
yes,
but the Ahsoka show, I
yeah,
think this show is gonna blow Mando out of the water.
yeah. Let's put it this way: if any show is gonna do it, it's gonna be this one. Okay,
Yep,
because this is Filoni's baby, right? Like, this is
yep,
straight up from his mind, from his stories from years ago, from his concepts, from his ideas. Like, this is him, like 100%, like just him. So yeah, first of all, there's no way this thing isn't good, right? Like, this show is gonna
yeah,
be it's gonna be fire. But like you said, if anybody's going to dethrone Mandalorian, it's gonna be Ahsoka.
no, for sure. Like I don't think we're ready for this show, and I
Yeah.
cannot wait to see the official trailer. Did you get into the Mando Plus panel on Saturday at Anaheim where they showed us some footage from Ahsoka?
No, I did not. No,
Oh, yeah,
that I
man. We
missed. Yeah.
we saw if you look on YouTube, you can see people recorded it with their phones,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
though they weren't supposed to. But
yeah.
no, we
It always
saw
happens.
a little bit, bro. We're
Oh
oh
man.
man, yeah. And then the last one, which is
Oh
Skeleton
yeah,
Crew,
that's
which
right.
this is very interesting to me because
Yep.
I know it takes place in the Mando timeline,
Hmm.
and then it's supposed to take place after Mando season 3 and Ahsoka, but before Mando season 4, and Ahsoka is supposed to cameo in this. So it's
Yes.
like kind of connected, which is
Yep.
cool. Other than that, I don't know what the hell it's about. It's like little
Yeah.
kids lost in space, supposed to be
Exactly.
like Stranger Things kind of vibe, which is
Yeah.
cool. I love Stranger Things, so I guess we'll
Same.
see. But I think this will
Uh
be like November drop, November,
yeah.
December.
Yeah, probably. I think honestly what I'm most excited about this one is that what do they keep calling it? Like a new
Oh,
unknown region of
the
space,
new
right?
beyond, the new beyond
Yes,
or
exactly.
something.
There you go, the new
Yeah,
beyond. So I'm actually pretty excited about that, man, because I gotta be honest with you, from what they keep talking about, like, oh, a new threat and all that. I'm like, all right, guys, like I'm getting Yuuzhan Vong vibes out of this. All right. Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna throw it out there. Like, that's sort of where my mind goes to. Now, that's not to say it will be, exactly the Yuuzhan Vong as we all know and love, but I'm just saying, like, it has potential, right, to be a similar story. And the fact that Ahsoka is going to be, first of all, she's going to be in that show, right? But second, it seems that
yeah,
within the show, she's going to be in that region as well, right?
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, are we connecting here to the world between worlds, to Thrawn, and maybe like the Chiss ascendancy? Like, I don't know, man. My mind's racing when they say like a new, previously unknown like region. That opens up a lot of possibilities in my mind.
Yeah, and they said that there's going to be like a lot of magic, and they said that there's also potentially like a version of Night Sisters there
Yeah.
that are like light or I don't know, some sort of version of Night Sisters, which is cool. But the thing that I like, it's John Watts is the one doing it, bro. He
Yes.
just did No Way Home. That was a masterpiece. So
Oh, dude,
I'm very
so good.
confident in him for sure. But yes, Skeleton Crew, it should be interesting, like for sure. There's just so much
Absolutely.
potential they could do.
Yeah.
So the next one I got, this just dropped today. The runtime for the first episode of Mando next Wednesday. Did you see
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. I just saw it before coming on.
Yeah. So I saw a few people like retweeting this, posting this, and it's 35 minutes and 16 seconds. So what were your
Hmm.
first thoughts when you saw that?
Why? Why can't you just make me happy for a full hour? That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, I saw it, and at first I was like first a little angry, but
Hmm.
then I was like, well, let me see what happens. Cause then I thought, well, Tales of the Jedi was like 9-12 minutes
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
straight fire.
Oh, yeah.
So as long as it's 35 minutes of no BS nonstop, which typically the first episode they always come super hard and like
Sure.
and like a cameo or something crazy. I think it'll be good. There just better not be like any like lackluster 5-6 minute
Agree.
period because like that's wasted time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
So
gotta be a pretty lean episode because yeah, that's a short runtime.
yeah, for sure. So I guess we'll see on Wednesday, but I'll be waking up at 3 a.m. to watch that my time.
Absolutely.
So the next one, I kind of talked
Yeah.
about this earlier, and I'm sure you saw this, but John Fav confirmed that he wrote all of season
Hmm.
4, like the story for season 4, as they were doing editing season 3. So what did he say? Let me read that because this man is a genius. So they asked him
Oh,
about season 4, and
yeah.
he said, Season 4, yeah, I've written it already. We have to know where we're going to tell a fully formed story. So we have them mapped out, Filoni and I, and then slowly you just write each episode. So I was writing it during post production because all of it has to feel like a continuation of one full story. Bro, that is the most
See,
beautiful paragraph I've
I was
ever
gonna
read.
say Disney copy paste that and put it into every project you make regarding Star
Copy.
Wars. Seriously,
Yes.
like
That's the
that's gonna be
formula
your
right there.
guideline. Yeah, exactly. That's it. He spelled it out. He's giving you the deliverables. He's telling you how to do it. There's no magic behind it except put in the work, put in the continuity, and have a cohesive story. That's it. That's all we want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're not even starting with season 3. We're already getting, season 4 vibes. So
I know, and I
I
love it that he has it. And aren't
exactly
they gonna
same here.
start? Didn't they rumor that they're gonna start filming it this October or something like that? I
Yeah, I
thought I
think
saw
it's pretty
somewhere.
soon. Yeah. Now
So
let me ask you this. Let me pick your brain a little bit.
yeah.
How many in your mind, in your idea, how many seasons does Mandalorian go? Like how
Well,
much?
me being selfish and it being as consistent, I wanted to go forever. But like realistically, I mean, what like 5 or 6? Because you figure it's leading to Thrawn. You figure
Yeah.
it's the heir to the Empire. It's gonna end with Thrawn fighting Mando, fighting Ahsoka, fighting
Right.
Luke. And like
Exactly.
there were even teases of like that could possibly be a movie. Like the final part of this could
Yeah.
be a movie in the movie theaters. So I would say at least 5 or 6, because I know he's not gonna the story's not gonna be done by 4.
No, I
But
don't think so either.
maybe me being greedy, I would want like what The Walking Dead is what 11, 12 seasons, 13, 14 seasons. Like keep it
Yeah, it's a
going.
lot. But at the same time, like I dropped off the Walking Dead, to be honest with you, a
Oh,
long time
I
ago.
did. Yeah, I
But
dropped for a couple seasons and then I came back a little bit later and it started to get good again. And I was like, oh,
okay,
okay. So yeah.
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 But yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Now, I'm not saying that the character of the Mandalorian is done within 5 seasons, because I think there's still potential to use him like they did in Book of Boba Fett, right? Like just sprinkle
Yeah.
him on whatever future projects. But the Mandalorian, as a show, like him being the main character and his story, quote unquote, because it's like not just his story, right? Uh,
Yeah.
I also think it doesn't have. Okay, let me put it to you this way. I think we're about the halfway point for the show. Like
Uh-huh.
I think we might get 6 seasons and that's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe less, maybe 5. But I do feel that, like, I do feel that as a standalone show, as the Mandalorian that we know and love, I think it doesn't have, many seasons ahead of it. I think it's got a
Yeah.
few left.
Yeah, and I would like if they did keep it, like tell the story of another Mandalorian. It's called the
Yeah,
Mandalorian. It's not called Din Djarin. You
yeah,
could do it
agreed.
about Bo-Katan, Sabine. If little Grogu gets a freaking helmet,
Yeah, which
it
I'm
could be
ready for,
about
by the way, in season 3. I
yeah.
mean, I kind of want to see
So
that.
yeah, I think it'll be like 5 or 6, like kind of like how you said for
Yeah.
sure. All right. So up next, oh, you'll know about this because I know nothing about this. So for Jedi Survivor, they confirmed a Clone Wars tie-in from the original Clone Wars that you like that you were talking about earlier.
Okay. Let
So
me see.
this guy
I didn't
right
skip
here
this
that
one.
so this dude, this bad guy right here, he's in
Oh,
the
no
trailer.
way. Yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
is a Gendai
He's a Gendai.
Gendai,
That's right.
which is the species from the
Yeah,
Tartakovsky Clone
Dirge.
Wars.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
No
So
way.
yeah, there's the picture right
There you
there.
go. Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh my lord.
what do you think about this? Because
Oh, dude, you're blowing my mind right now. I
yeah,
missed this one.
yeah, it
Uh,
just dropped.
dude, that is it's funny because I saw the Gendai picture of the character, right?
Uh-huh.
A couple days ago or whatever when it dropped. And it's funny because I thought I was like, man, this dude is huge. And I literally thought I was like, it reminds me of Dirge. But I was like, oh well, move on, like
Yeah.
but yeah, you're right. It is the same race. Dang it.
Yep.
So
So
yeah,
they
so
confirmed
Dirge
it.
is one of the I guess one of my favorite characters to come out of that animated shorts. And
Oh,
he's making a
nice.
comeback, by the way. I want to say he's canon now. I think he popped up in
Yeah.
a comic book not that long ago. Which again, under Disney, everything that comes out on a novel, comic book from what is it, 2014 on is canon now, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So I think Dirge is canon now. But yeah, man. So that fight that I was talking about when Obi-Wan is wearing the clone armor, the phase
Mhm.
one, he's fighting this guy, and dude, he puts up quite a fight. Like he's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, so dang, that's okay. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm ready for this now.
So did you play the first Fallen Order?
I didn't finish it, believe it or not. I never finished it.
Oh, are you gonna get this one when it comes out?
I think so. I don't know if I'm get it right as it comes out. I might wait a little bit for like a sale or something, but I'm
Oh
definitely gonna
yeah,
play
for
it. Yeah.
sure. Yeah, but I thought that was pretty cool. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
man.
That's freaking awesome.
All right, so I think this is the last article that I got. So
Hmm.
before we get into the collectibles, but Andor season 2, they just started filming. They're filming now in London, so all those guys
Yes.
have to pop up in
Dude, I
celebration
was
if
gonna
they're
say,
all
man,
there
how
filming.
crazy is that? Yeah. They're
They're
all
right
right
down the
there
road.
already. Yeah.
Yeah, they could film, take a lunch break, swing by for a quick panel. Like, come on.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of them are just walking the floor. Like,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
they've done before.
So in this pics, in the pictures, we see Bix is back in season 2. So
Yep.
there's this shot right here. So we know she's back. I mean, she didn't die in the first one, but she's back.
Right.
And then I think this is from it too, or no, it's down here. Another one, yeah. So you know how these sneaky people, I don't know how they get these shots, man. Like it's they must be zooming in from mad far away or
I was
on
gonna
set
say,
and they take out their phone real quick.
yeah,
But yeah,
that's
so they're
something,
filming
man. That these
now.
guys are ninjas.
Yeah, man. But I would love for her to come to the celebration. I would love a photo op with her. She's just, I'm in love
Agreed.
with her. Bix,
Oh,
like, come
aren't
on.
we all, buddy? Yeah.
Yeah. So did you like Andor the first season?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
To the surprise of many. um and it's been talked about uh back when the show was coming out. uh you know Slow burn, very slow pace, like
Very slow
where's the
burn. Yeah.
excitement, like all of that stuff. I was kind of eating a lot up, to be honest with you, because I took it as, we're finally getting like the street level story, of these characters
Yeah.
that are just people, right? Like straight up, right? Like just basic humans. No force powers, no, not even like enhancements, right? Like cybernetic enhancements or
Yeah.
anything like that. Like they're straight up just people. And so of course their stories are not going to be as exciting as like, Obi-Wan's or Anakin's. Uh,
Yeah.
but I gotta be honest with you, that in that show there's some of the best dialogue I've heard in all of Star Wars, like ever.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's
I'll give it
there's
that for sure.
Yeah, there's some fire, monologues in there. But that's not to say I'm blind to it and say that it's perfect. I do feel they could have been considerably shorter, or we could have gotten
Yes.
more uh, out of that number of episodes, right? Because it was a lot of
Yeah.
episodes
It's
compared to any
12.
other Star Wars. Exactly. I
Yeah,
mean, Obi-Wan was
12.
6. Come on, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
Um, and so yeah, so that I think around 9 episodes would have been good for what we got out of the 12, or give me 3 more episodes or 3 episodes worth of more stuff in those same 12 episodes, right? Like pick up the pace. Like there was a few of those that if they would have been just plucked, like if they would have been cut, I don't think the show would have suffered much.
Yeah, no, for
So
sure. There are some parts I enjoyed, but like with me, the way my Star Wars brain works, in my mind, I was like, this time period, everybody is in their prime, everybody is alive running around. So like
yeah,
I just know that Maul's running around, Ahsoka's running around, Rex,
agreed.
Cody, like so
Yeah,
it's like I'm like, are they gonna pop up? Are we gonna see
yes,
something?
I kept
So
thinking
even though
about that too.
yeah, so that's where my mind went to right away. And the one thing that we didn't get that pissed me off is they kept teasing that dinner party with Mom Mothma, and I thought we were gonna get like a dinner party with Palpatine showing up or his little right hand man. So
Yeah,
there's a
Masamida
couple
or
missed,
somebody.
yeah. So there was a couple missed opportunities, but visually it was gorgeous,
Yeah,
gorgeous. Like it
yeah,
was
it
shot
was.
like why didn't Kenobi have that budget? Like you,
Right.
come on.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I know. One of the main gripes that I kept hearing, and I still do, about Kenobi is like, man, it felt very enclosed, right? It felt like
Yeah,
small scale, like you don't have enough budget, to go out there and do what you actually want to do. And I
yeah,
agree. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I enjoyed the performance. I enjoyed the story even. But yes, visually, some of the shots could have been better, right? Or you would imagine them to be better. Uh, and that was the case with Andor. And I was like, dude, like, why couldn't they take out these guys out there to the
yep,
quarries, to the forest, like all of that stuff? Man, looks gorgeous. Like it makes such a
gorgeous.
difference.
Yep. All right, so the collectibles that I have, and you kind of
Yeah, let's
posted
go.
a lot of them, is all those micro galaxy
Yes.
squadrons. So I see these all the time at
Yeah.
Target and stuff. I don't really collect these, and
Hmm.
I think you get like a bunch of these, right? Because I know you have some of the chases and stuff too, right?
I do. I have what is it? I have 3 chases right now.
Nice. So
Yeah.
we'll kind of go through these, and I saved the best one for last, of course.
Oh yeah.
But this first one, this General Grievous Starfighter, this
Yeah.
is so dope.
It is. It is.
Like,
And okay, so one of the things that I like about this line is that it's bringing back some of the designs we haven't seen since Revenge of the Sith. So
yeah, yeah,
some of these starships we never got in the Hot Wheels line. We only got in the 3 3/4 lines, and not even the vintage collection. I'm talking about like the Revenge of the Sith,
yeah.
collection, and we never saw them again. So I like that they're bringing back some of the prequel stuff because I'm sorry, I'm a kid of the prequels. I love the prequels. Um,
Me too.
and so I'm psyched at seeing some of this merch that come out again, for some of these ships, which I always thought were very cool.
Yeah. So the first one I got is the Grievous.
Yeah,
Then we got
which is the
Anakin's
case.
Jedi Starfighter. Like this is
Yeah,
so dope, and it's so dope, and it comes with R2. Yeah, this thing is clean. It doesn't. Does it come with this little ring too?
I believe so. Yeah, I think that the Delta twos come with that. Yeah,
Oh,
I have
that's
the
so
Obi Wan,
sick.
and I
Yeah,
haven't cracked it open. I have the Obi Wan, the same version, right? The
nice.
Delta two sprite, but the Obi Wan. But yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, so that one's clean. The next one, these little mystery minis
Yes,
vehicles, which I didn't like really look at it up close till I blew it up on the screen. But like, bro, Dooku with this cape blowing in the
yes,
wind.
exactly. That's the one
You
that I
got
gravitated towards.
yeah, Cad Bane. You
Yeah,
got Tech. You
Tech. Yeah,
got the freaking Tusken Raider from
the
Book of
Tusken
Boba
Raider.
Fett, the
Hold on,
female
real
one
quick.
that kicked everyone's butt. Yeah.
Okay, so my wife, since she's a way better toy hunter than I am,
Uh-huh.
she already found me the Series 2 little blind box
Oh,
right there.
nice.
So this is already the second series. and
Uh-huh.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to see them here. They're kind of small, but these are the guys on on series
Oh,
two.
okay, okay.
So
Yeah.
the one that you were showing right now is series three, which still
Oh,
yet to come.
gotcha.
So these guys are
Gotcha,
barely
gotcha.
rolling into stores. So series three, I'm assuming they're gonna take a little bit more.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But and I just like how it's like you got sequel trilogy, you got
Yes.
OG trilogy. It's like a mix of everything.
Yeah.
So that's cool how they did that, like for sure.
And those have their own chases, of course, as well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So this
So
next one,
this one,
yeah, Plo Koon with
yeah,
his droid. This is
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I have
That's
the
one.
vintage. I have the vintage collection
Oh,
vehicle
you
of
do?
this.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love that thing. So I might have
Yes.
to grab this,
I
open it
think
up,
so
and put
too.
it right next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, this is out of the chases that I remember seeing right now. I think this is the one that I'm gonna go for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's super out here, at least, down here in Texas, it's super hard to find these chases, man. Like I don't know if they get here late or they just don't get here. Uh, but I've had a hard time. Like literally two out of the
Yeah.
three chases that I have, a buddy of mine, Hey Archer from Nerd Affiliated, he is the one that
Uh-huh.
found them. Uh, like I only found one, and then
Nah.
the
Oh
one that I
damn.
found uh doesn't have the little figure, the one that I got.
Oh, it was. I think I remember you did a video
Yeah,
on it and you said it was
yeah,
missing the figure,
it's
but it was
missing the figure.
sealed,
It is
which is
sealed. Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I
remember
actually
that.
posted it to one of the Facebook groups that are like, that are the experts on these things, and
Uh-huh.
they're like, "Nah, man, it does happen. Like, I got one, and somebody got double figure on their on their sealed,
Oh
package." They're like, "Yeah,
wow.
no, like the factory is not, like they do miss stuff, so it's probably like they didn't think somebody stole it. They're like, it's probably just somebody forgot to put it in at the
Gotcha.
factory."
Yeah. So this next one,
Yeah,
Ayala Sakura's Jedi
yeah.
Interceptor.
Ayla Sakuras.
Yeah, that's so dope. She doesn't get enough love, man, and
No,
enough like
no, she doesn't.
merchandise at
Agreed. So
all.
we just got the Black Series one, man, after what, 20 years?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
okay, the Black Series line has been around for 10 years, but I'm saying like it's taken a while
To
for
make
her
that
to get
figure
a
of her.
figure.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, and it just came out like last month, which is insane to me. Like, give us all the Jedi, man. Come on.
yeah. And then the next one, Anakin's Jedi
Yeah,
Interceptor. So that one's dope. I have the vintage collection vehicle of
yeah,
that too.
very nice.
So I might need to get that to open that up because it looks so dope, man.
Yeah, man. And that's episode 3 right there. So
Yep.
cannot mess with that.
And
And there
then
you go,
right
the
here,
companion. Yeah.
yep. You can't
Uh,
get one, you have to get both of them.
I was gonna say you can't just do one. I'm on the same boat. I think I'm gonna have to pick both of them up.
Yeah. So the last one, I think you were the one that posted it first, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Go for it.
I
Yeah.
went right for it. But this freaking Tiger
Mm-hmm.
Shark gunship
Yes.
ordered it so
Finally.
quick, and
Yeah.
Amazon updated the delivery. It went from being May to March, so it's gonna
Oh,
be here
yours
next
too?
week.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
next
mine too.
Friday.
I just
Yeah,
saw that like 2 hours ago that it says March. Yeah, what
March
is it?
3rd.
March yeah, yeah, yeah.
March 3rd.
Oh man.
So this thing is beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I cannot wait to open it up. Target had I got one from Target, the regular
Yes.
one,
Same here.
but they have those 4 exclusives, which I want, but it's kind of like they're $30 each. And I one of them had all of them. So it's like, damn, I can't just buy one. I want them all, but I'm not gonna drop 120 right now.
Well,
So
and check this out. It's actually more expensive, the exclusive ones, because they come with more clones. So I don't know if you
oh,
noticed that.
and the bike, one of them comes with a bike
Comes with
and
a bike,
clones.
exactly. And that
So
one's
they're
like 40
more.
or 45, I forget.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
So I'm just saying that's why I haven't picked them up. I did the exact same as you did. I picked up the original one
Yeah.
because I was like, yes. I First of all, I loved gunships. I love these Republic gunships. I always thought they're like some of the most like original,
Yep.
how do you call it, design in in Star Wars, right? And again, love from episode 2 and from that animated short.
Yep.
But once they started putting out like the variations, right, with the different paints and with more clones and stuff, this is the first thing that came to mind. I was like, I really really hope they put the Tiger Shark out,
Yeah.
And sure enough, man, same thing. As soon as I saw it, pre-order. I was like, I don't even care. I'll pay full price. Done.
Yep. And it's an Amazon exclusive too, so you can only get it from Amazon,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
Which I'll be honest
crazy.
with you, I'm actually thinking about ordering a second one. you
Yeah,
know, because dude, I seriously, this design is one of my favorite.
it
So
is, man.
if you haven't seen the shorts that we've been talking about, that's where these guys come from.
So that's
From
where it's from, because this
Yeah,
shit was never in Filoni's
no,
Clone Wars.
no, it was in Tartakovsky's
Oh,
first episodes and last episodes. These guys pop up. They call them the Munulus 10, and it's
yeah.
basically the ARC troopers and some of the regular clones, and their gunship is that one painted like that,
Uh-huh.
and they actually go against Grievous once the first time that Grievous
Oh,
comes out. So you gotta watch those. Is all I'm saying. Like there's some
I
dope
was
stuff in there.
wondering because when I got the vintage the vintage Tiger Shark gunship, I
Yes,
bought the 5-pack, the
yes,
Clone Trooper builder pack, and it was called Attack on Grievous, and I had
yes.
no idea like what that meant,
Yeah.
but now
I,
it makes so much sense.
dude, I saw you pick those up, and I was like, good. I have both of those, and they're still one of my favorite like Star Wars, toys like ever. I freaking love that package. That
Yeah,
five, what is it, 5-pack? Uh,
5-pack. Yeah, there's
and
5 of them.
yeah, and the and the gunship is nuts, dude. Like I love that ship. So
Yeah,
this one
man.
was an easy pickup. Like I didn't even think about it. I just went for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. So that's the last thing that I had. So what do you have coming up next for your channel that everyone can look forward to?
Sure thing. Funny enough, I just dropped today a review on one of those Micro Galaxy Squadron.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so I'm gonna start cracking those open and giving out like 3 to 5 minute reviews on them, just so that people can see, if they want to get into them or not. Because there's a lot of how can I say it? Some people used to love, the old like Micro Machine stuff, like the action fleet
Yeah.
stuff, and they're
Yep.
saying, well, they're not as good as that, right? And I think honestly, it's hit and miss. They're comparable, and for
Uh-huh.
the price point, as things are now, they're
Yeah.
not bad. Okay, like they're actually not bad. And then we get stuff like this one, like that freaking gunship, man. That wins every day.
Oh, yeah.
So we just dropped that. But this past Saturday, we actually dropped my very first interview with a Star
Ooh.
Wars cast member, man. We had the privilege of interviewing Leilani Shu, who plays Tika, the Jawa from Obi-Wan Kenobi show. She also plays other Jawas and other characters in both The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. So she was amazing, dude. She was
Yeah.
she was just having fun. She was super friendly. She was great. We could have kept the interview going, but I was like, you know what? Like I need to, not take away more of her time.
Yeah.
But she was super cool, man. So I had a blast doing it. So I would appreciate if you guys out there check it out. Again, that's already up on the General Kenobi's Bunker YouTube channel.
Yes, I'll put the link for that video in the description, guys. Definitely check it out. That was an awesome interview, man. Awesome.
Appreciate that. Yeah, man, I was kind of nervous 'cause like I said, it was the first time like me interviewing, like face to face, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I mean, she literally worked with Ewan McGregor, right? On a few scenes.
Yeah.
So, but no, man, she was cool, man. She was super nice. She was excited for us to be there, like she was just great. Like it was a badass like first interview, honestly. So yeah, that's one
Nice.
thing. We do have our live show called The High Ground that I guess by the time this airs, we would have had Nilda from Appetite from Collectibles as our next guest, which we will be filming tomorrow. And so I think by the time this
Nice.
video drops, that would have been yesterday. so
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, guys, check us out there on the High Ground, pretty much every Wednesday around 8 p.m. Central. And like I said, we'll be having some pretty cool guests, like my man Tony here included. He's gonna join us coming up pretty soon.
Yep.
Also, if I can plug a little bit more, if you
Of
guys could
course.
check out my Instagram, general.kenobis.bunker. Again, over on Instagram, that's where I post most of my updates of, when new videos drop, when we're going to go live, anything that I found out there on hunts. I try to take a picture and post it up there. We also got a TikTok, general_kenobis_bunker. and we're actually getting close to 6,000 followers, which is nuts. So I would
Damn,
appreciate it.
nice.
Yeah, thanks. I still can't believe it, and I'm not sure why, but yeah. So yeah, guys, I would appreciate it if you check us out on TikTok. Again, general_Kenobis_bunker. Yeah, I try to post every day, trying to keep it up, and would appreciate it if you guys swing by.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate your time today, General Kenobi.
Thank you for the invite, man. This was super fun.
Yes. And that's it for this episode of Sith Talk. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Peace out.